This meeting.
Welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gulmer and I'm a podcast engineer here, and excited to bring you another episode of Conversation for All, with Christian and EC Marketing for All. I started 4 months ago here, and kind of all about networking and making connections, and so on. So with nothing further ado, Christian, I'm going to come in here and welcome, Christian.
Thank you, Emily, and appreciate it again, as always. I appreciate the involvement, your participation, and absolutely thank you all, not just for joining us, but again, as you guys all know, we're only here because of the World of Ability Podcast Network, today's Disability Channel, Community Pay It Forward.us, Project Die Hard. Our whole mission and everything that we're wanting to do and wanting to make sure that we emphasize is exactly that, is our communities, how we're serving our communities, how we can better serve our communities. And that's something that's close to our heart, as well as something that we're really looking to raise awareness for our ability challenge folks, for mental health awareness, and definitely to raise awareness for the suicide veteran rate, currently clocked at 22. And we're looking to raise awareness. We're accompanied by Project Die Hard, wanting to bring more resources to veterans that are in need, veterans that definitely need help, and it's just different resources and different things that are going on. I also want to make sure that we highlight our friend. And as you mentioned right now, that I've been here for about 3 months now. I want to make sure that we point out and that we highlight our friend at letsbetrees.org. I want to make sure that we include everyone as we're nearing the holidays and getting ourselves kind of in the gear of holiday. There's also a marketing side. There's also a business side. There's also a human being side to all of this. So we want to make sure that we are respectful, that we're kind, and that we're better communicators. And we have a special guest that's going to be coming up for next week, and it's going to be bringing together what men, not mentoring, but what men need more in regards to compassion, in regards to communication, and in regards to just being able to be better supported for themselves and for their families. A very special guest will be Christine Bernat, ChristineBernat.com, also a contributing board member of Helpopedia, and that's another organization that we've been working with. So before I go any further, definitely come on in and introduce yourselves, the rest of the team. I'm not sure if Alan is camera side. Yourself?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
There he is. There he is.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning for those who are around the world who's listening. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the Once of All Conversation for All. Hope you're having an incredible day. I am your master connector, also MC Holmes on Wednesdays. Just like to say, happy fall to each one of you. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and I'm kind of co-piloting with EC Marketing and the Master Connector at FamilyShieldPro.com, where we always collaborate, connect, and network. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Christian for bringing up visibility and disability and just the world as a whole, because I actually shared this. It's proud to share that I saw this on the news and I had to share it. It was the not me, it was an FDA approved drug that was still looking into the news, but we just want to get the good news, especially when it comes for those with disabilities and mental health. I put it on the post. They broke through for those who have voices or hear voices. They're working on something convenient. So anything that's a breakthrough that can change those with the disabilities, and especially in the part of the mental disabilities, is a win. So I wanted to share that and just say happy Friday to each one of you. And allowing me to be here. Back to you, Mr. Christian, an incredible conversation for all. Let's get this conversation going.
All right. Appreciate you. By the way, just a quick note too. You guys had Biz Expo and some other events, a couple of other things that I'm working on in the background. I know Kurt, if he's around, come on in, chime on in. But I know he's got the PFANA, FANA, org, right, FANAUSA.org. And you guys can go check that out. It's going to be a big community event, music fest. Come on in, Emily.
So yeah, everybody, tomorrow is the big music festival by FANA, or People for a New America. It is not a political type group or anything. And the music festival is about peace, unity, peace, and freedom. And it goes from 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Pacific. And it will be live streamed as well on their website and so on. And then we also have I'd love to have everybody on any of our shows. This one among the other ones. And also we have other events like another Easy Expo event coming up. Sure, I have a little something Halloween, but for sure we have one on December 5th from noon to 6 Central and 10 to 4 Pacific. And as well as a telethon on December 15th. It's run by somebody out of Florida, as well as the holiday event with Santa, or a couple Santas, December 24th through the 26th. And I'd love to have you join us for any of those things. So back to you, Christian.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate you. I'm not sure we hurt if in the wings. Let's make sure we have everybody, and go ahead and unmute yourself, Alan, and definitely come on into the conversation. And I think that yes, today is Friday, October 25th, and very glad folks are here. So giving value in kind of going over some things. We just had that Biz Expo event that Emily was heading out, and we'll take an opportunity to kind of go over that and just organization, being kind. Not everything goes always according to plan. Not everything is in our control or under our control. However, one of the things that we can, and how we communicate, how we react, and how we act towards one another is something that we can control. We should control. And as I've mentioned at the top of the show, it's really something that we're reflecting in how we treat each other, how we work with one another, how we live. I ended the last show in letting everybody know what you represent, how you act, how you react, is how you display yourself to the world. especially us being ambassadors, whether we're representing Community Pay It Forward, whether we're representing FamilyShieldPro.com or the Today Disability Channel. We got to all understand and know that we just need a little bit of more kindness. If we don't have an understanding, then we have a misunderstanding. How are we going to clear that up? There's conflicts and there's things that happen. And so again, I'm going to lean on, and it is just a soft introduction to Christine Bernat in regards to her how to deal with stress. And Alan, let me ask you, what's kind of stressful things are going on in the world that you've heard about? Some of the things that are going on right now, right? Finances, housing, crisis. You brought up a great breakthrough in discovery, but we're looking at housing, we're looking at employment, there's so many things that are going on in the world. So this is how to manage your stress, how to better manage whatever is going on in the world. And again, as a soft introduction, I tell you, and she's introduced it to me as snap, tap, zap. And it's a simple 1, 2, 3 process to slow yourself down, to allow yourself grace, and to be able to move forward. How important is it for you guys to have a coping mechanism, and what are you doing nowadays for those stressful times, Alan? Come on in, bud.
Well, no, I appreciate that, Christian. You know, I love that snap, tap, zap. You know, I'm going to kind of hear it a couple of times and maybe see it on a T-shirt or something. Who knows? But definitely, you know, every once in a while, one thing the military and the veterans have taught us is try to slow your heart rate down when certain situations coming up, and you breathe and look around and scan the perimeter and just be observant. Just be. You know, it's not always, responding or like you said, reacting, but being proactive and trying to learn from others. I mean, I had the honor and privilege of meeting someone earlier today. This young lady, she writes children's books, and it brought me back to a time that I was a child. It was the most surreal, and this was a couple of days ago. And so I always say I never know who I'm going to meet. Well, I didn't know this young lady, and then all of a sudden she brought her dog in. It was a special, it looked like just a beautiful Saint Bernard, but it wasn't. It was a special dog that was trained in the hills of Switzerland. And it was actually kind of her muse for one of her books. And it's a very, very, just going to leave that out there. But I just wanted to bring that up because that allowed me to go back into that childlike state of being, and being, like you said, being kind to one another. And we learn from children, because children are the most just creative individuals that they're little people, as they say, but they're also individuals who or at one point soon will be adults, and they teach us so much. And so when I go, whether it's listening to the music of this, the people for network, the music that's going to come this tomorrow, or just listen to the conversation for all, for those who are listening around the world. Thank you for allowing me to just chime in and just be a part of something that, like you say, breathe, understand one another and learn from one another. Because they always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So I am definitely just a student, as I always, when I can, and support a conversation for all in the community, Pay It Forward, and the Disability Channel, World of Abilities, Spirit of the Games, all the communities that are in the projects that we've been working on. And I am honored to be the co-pilot, Mr. Christian, with EC Marketing for All. He doesn't talk vanilla, ladies and gentlemen, but that's how Christian is. He is a person who is someone that wants to give to the world, heal the world, change the world, make a difference in the world, and teaching and guiding us to be kindness to one another. So back to you, sir. We're here.
I appreciate you. That's the reality. We all have priorities. We all have different things that we do deal with throughout the day. I'm going to take myself as a parent, as an individual, as an adult, as a man, as a father, as a husband, and I'm going to say I want to better myself. That's just because that's how I wake up and go get every morning started. I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to make sure that we're doing what we're doing. Now, you talked about children. We talked about, and Christine Burnett was actually has a program to help parents and adults speak to and better communicate with teens. I told her in one of the harshest realities that she has to understand, and yes, coming from a marketing background, but also as a parent, it's like I said, you're not going to change the world teaching children because if the parents aren't involved and they're not actually included in it, you're only dealing with not even half of the problem. Because the sustainability and the ability for things to function is a support system. So I'm going to go ahead and take just a quick opportunity. You guys can check it out. We're going to put it and we're going to link it. But the ABCs at the FTC, federal, by the way, we make sure that we do everything correctly. So we stand by the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, FCC, Federal Communications. So our goal is to make sure that people are informed. And although most people may not care about it, they care about keeping children safe or they care about these things, but they don't take the time to actually put effort into it. And so this goes to anything. If you got a favorite team and you know the positions and the players and the coaches and the histories, but we don't know our children's teachers' names and their tasks and their homework and their involved in their clubs and their interest and their favorite subjects, we got priorities. And yes, it's good to have relevance. It's good to have hobbies. It's good to have that. But again, I'm going to go ahead and go back to. So to summarize, and I'm just going to go ahead and go over this information. FTC, and it is linked, again, it'll be shared, but children, the FTC has a long history of protecting children from unfair and deceptive marketing practices. Children can be misled by advertisement that wouldn't deceive an adult, the brains, all of that stuff. The FTC has been involved in both enforcing regulations and advocating for stricter rules. Amendments were made in 1980, limited the FTC's authority to regulate children's advertising based on unfairness. Lastly, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, is a separate regulation that protects children's privacy online. These are things that we're looking to actually talk about. These are things that we're actually looking to be aware of. If you don't even have a single clue of how businesses are affecting your children already, again, we have a lot to conversate about. Click on the link, follow us on social media, thank a veteran, thank somebody with an ability challenge, but at least say thank you. That goes for your children, that goes for your spouses, that goes for our partners, that goes for just anybody within your area, within your the 3 layer of separation. Just call and say thank you. And just to check in with somebody. They need it. Going back to this and what I'm talking about, and to kind of align this, is that these are things that are already there. These are things that are already folks should be aware of. If you're not aware, that's not an excuse. And that may be part of why we're having such a difficult problem nowadays and so stressed about things nowadays. And one of the things that I have as an intellectual individual, I've had a hard time stopping the brain and going into my emotions. It's different. It's weird. It's an unknown for me because all of my life I've been an intellectual, logical person. And so I thrive on that. With that being said, just because I thrive on it doesn't mean that it's okay for me to dismiss the other side. And now in my 40s, I'm barely dealing with how to manage stress, how to manage emotions, how to handle it, and be okay to cry. So that's one big thing that was just a big wake-up call. It was something that is really, I wanted to share with folks. I wanted to really touch base and really to kind of communicate. You guys can check it out again at helpopedia.org. But based on the information, the FTC is trying to protect children. Now they've got the new COPPA rule that imposes certain requirements and operators for websites and online services that are directed to children. My whole conversation today is to make sure that we have an understanding that, and so that you know, These are organizations, okay? These are agencies that are set up and that are structured to protect your children. They're protecting those from businesses and marketing and advertising to children that are unfair, that may be deceptive. And that's the problem. We forget. We may not be easily fooled, but our children are. And if we're not communicating with children, and it doesn't have to be our children, we can be a leader and a voice for all children. But if we're acting a fool, if we're acting like we're not, if we're acting like we're their buddies and we're sitting there just not really influencing in a positive, that's not a leader. That's not a positive. That's not a constant. And we've talked about this, Alan. We needed constants. We needed rules, but we needed support. We needed love. We needed that attention. So we had a real nice, solid crying session. I'm one of the men that don't mind crying in public, crying and hugging another man. And again, in a very respectful manner, because I also don't impose my feelings or my emotions. So there's people that have boundaries and strangers that come up. We're dealing with a big worldwide global crisis. Well, at least in the U.S. though, let's go back to a neighborhood in our communities. But our homelessness is just becoming something that needs to have another angle to tackle it. And I think that sustainability is not the current model. Right now, the current model is let's give, give, and so that they can understand what it is to get, but then there's no sustainability. So anyone that I reach out to, anyone that I speak to, anyone that I work with anything on, my goal is not only to, yes, to train, to teach, to show, and yes, what Alan has said is we offer different services. It's not about that. It's about me giving you the information, the knowledge, and for you to be equipped as we're growing, as we are aligned with you, as you understand. I'm here to cheer you on. I'm here to promote you, to cheer you on, to promote you, to lift you up, to support you, to everything that it is behind your cause. That's exactly what we're at. And aligning that with what we're saying is that in order for us to be effective and to be able to grow, I got to have you understand certain things, and you got to be a willing contributor to these. You have to want to. I actually retired long ago, before '08, which was when the market had dipped, and we'll get into that conversation later. I had to stop working because as I'm having a conversation, I used to be 285 pounds and I would bleed out of my nose because my blood pressure was so high. I would put other people's success, including business success, above my own. And that almost gave me a heart attack. So I had to stop. I can't want it more than the person or the organization. And if you can't follow direction, then it's hard for me to lead. Any leader that doesn't have a better communication. So that's why, yes, I'm always working on myself. We're always working on what it is, working on myself, working on our company, working on technology, because it's all flying by. But if anybody has a question, hey, are you worried that AI is going to take your job, Christian? Listen, no construction man or woman looks at a hammer, looks at a jackhammer, looks at a tow bar and says, hey, are you worried that that jackhammer or that hammer is going to take your job? No, of course not. And listen, these are tools. These are things that we just use to implement. And just as tracking technology is getting stricter by AI, and if folks aren't disclosing that, you're using AI for your projects, for your videos, for your drawings, for your art, for your pitching, for your scripts, for anything that you're using AI, again, it's a tool. Utilize it. Absolutely. Sharpen that saw and get behind it. Because if you're doing something that you weren't doing before, that's great. But just make sure that you're aligned. Make sure that you're doing it right. Make sure that you get people that can help hold you accountable. So lastly, we're going to go ahead and leave it off with, yes, this is Christian with EC Marketing for All. We have a phenomenal deal with our website offers that we're going to be donating still. We're going to be donating $500 to one of our charities for every site that is sold. You guys can reach out to us. And we're also giving folks that reach out to us through this program a additional discount on their website, full website services. So that includes everything that we're talking about: hosting, SSL certificates, domain addresses, backup security. We're going to bring the one and all, because we don't want anything to be left out, and we're going to go ahead and help you out with that site for a whole year. And you're going to be donating to these causes that you guys are already supportive in. So 500 will be going towards the organization of your choice. And we're still going to give our partners another $500 donation. So nobody gets left out. Nobody feels left out. That's what we're inclusive about. That's what we want to bring into help a business, help an entrepreneur, help a solopreneur. So we have different programs, we have different things, but we're definitely dedicated to bringing that up. Easy Marketing is a digital marketing agency specializing in local businesses. Yes, we work with SEO, we work with social media, we work with content marketing, email marketing, all of our services. We really bring exceptional client experiences with 23 plus years of industry and management, customer service, retention, admin, business development, phone sales, scripts, retention, and even collections. We can help it all. What really makes us unique, not only is it the clarity, not only is it our passion, but the fact that we aren't going to sell you a service that you don't need. And that's what we go back to. Individual businesses are at different stages, at different times, and each individual person is seeing their business in a different time. So with that being said, we definitely are here and dedicated to helping local businesses grow online. We're here to make sure that we are supporting our communities that we're working with right now. We're here to make sure that we are making a difference and a splash, and making it a splash in the pond and making that ripple extend. So if you have a mission, if you have a business, if you have something that you've been wanting to, you're kind of stuck, reach out to us. We give you guys a free complimentary consultation, and we're here again to help you move forward and move along. That's what we're all about. Uplifting and supporting. There's my Sherry and her note taker. Our Sherry and our note taker. This is why we don't, not everybody likes AI, right? So look, hi, I'm an AI assistant helping Sherry. Well, let's take notes for this meeting. Follow along the transcripts here. You'll also be able to see screenshots of key moments, add highlights, comments, or action items to and get an automatic summary after the meeting. Oh, that's not her usual funny one. I like her other funny one where she's going to be leaving in another minute if she doesn't hear it. But again, the personalization and folks that folks that are really looking to make a splash and make a difference in business, I'm going to give you a very big secret. Is stop worrying about business and worry about your customers. Worry about yourself, because nobody likes going around stressful people. Nobody likes being around people that are angry. Nobody likes to be around people that are just. And so you will look at your pond and look at your ripple and look at your stone. You are the stone. We're here to uplift. We're here to support. Take it away, Alan.
Wow, you're gonna ask me to follow that, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tag along and just say, look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those around the world that listen, Conversation for All, this is what happens when you show up, to get up, to look up, to be supportive. We are coming in a time in our world with a lot of changes and upsets, and we want to make sure that we love with one another and support one another and be kind to one another and understand and learn the value and resources that are coming along. There are many resources. That Conversation for All, and we'll be looking forward next week with Sherry. But as I keep going, I look up and I see 1, 2, 3 magic. There is a gentleman named Kurt Roscoff in the house. So he has some amazing Conversation for All tips and special events. You know, this is your co-pilot and master connector. Back to you, Mr. EC Marketing, Christian Mendez, who probably will bring along this gentleman named Kurt, selling somewhere in the Wisconsin area.
Yep, I'm over here in the Milwaukee market, and we are looking forward to a big event tomorrow that's gonna start at 10 a.m. in the morning Pacific time out there in LA. That is the Unity, Peace, and Freedom Music Festival, and it's available at pfnausa.org/live. So there will be a live stream coming right from their website, and it will be worth the watch and listen. So that, Christian, over to you. What's next?
Thank you. No, appreciate it. Appreciate you. And the haircut looks good.
Thank you. I'm trying to look a little closer to you guys.
Yeah, long way to go.
Yep. So I just
But
took
absolutely.
I put it on top. Yeah.
Enjoy your Friday, folks. Again, we're here to support. You guys follow us. Make sure that you guys like our pages. Not easy marketing. Please go out. As a matter of fact, no new followers, no new likes. We're here to support our causes. We're here to support the communities. We're here to support global. Yes, liking and sharing the information that we provide does help us, and it does help things make things easier for folks that are searching for us. So that with that being said, we are looking for ambassadors. We are looking for folks that want to lead, that want to be part of these organizations and make a splash. So you guys have our comments. I'm sorry, your links. Leave your comments, and we'll reach out to you. Conversations at Easy Marketing for All, or you guys can reach out to any of the Today's Disability channel. Let's be trees.org, communitypayforward.us, projectdieHard.org, Today's Disability channel, and the World of Ability Podcast Network. Thank you all, and we're out.
Wanted to thank Alan and everybody for tuning in today. And again, we are here every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Central. Again, we'd love to have you come on as a guest for this or any of the other shows. And also check out our social media of LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and so on. And like, share, comment, subscribe, as well as some of our partners. Zach Clayton of the Back Channel, Lawrence Wingate Studios, Earl Williams of the Midwest Plainsman Podcast, Marcus Hart of Transforming Media, and Jay of the Disability Channel. And check out all the great work that they're doing. But until next week, hope everybody has a safe and productive week and to stay happy.